Hi, I'm Maisy and this is CCN's Weekly News 5 at 5, July 30. This week's news is dominated by the COVID-19 lockdown. The state government announced an extension of the Greater Sydney lockdown by a month this week, and this does include the Central Coast. Efforts to have the region excluded from the lockdown area have been dashed after 18 sites and several local bus and train routes were listed as exposure sites following 2 known COVID-positive cases who were active in the community. The exact details can be found at our website or in this week's papers. Parliamentary Secretary for the Central Coast, Adam Crouch, has launched a scathing attack on attendees of last week's Freedom Rally in Sydney, calling the attendees selfish and encouraging other locals to dob people in they suspect attended the rallies. So far, 6 locals have received public infringement notices of $1,000. Mr. Crouch has also said that the attendees have further jeopardised the region being excluded from the lockdown zone. See Sky Hall's video interview with Adam on our website or on our socials for the full story.
The Premier also did make a note in her presentation that should a region like the Central Coast be performing well and should it be safe to do so, then we would look at coming out of lockdown earlier. And that's something that we should obviously focus on. And that's a reminder to everyone to do the right thing.
Meanwhile, Labor MPs are calling for a max vaccination centre to be set up on the coast. As well as a return to JobKeeper to support local businesses and employees, Shadow Minister for the Central Coast David Harris has also called for more unity and said he was worried about the tone of discussion on social media. See the interview on our social media pages.
It was clear from that meeting that people want our community to stay united. They don't want us to be divided. And there was recognition that unfortunately, when people are under pressure, they don't necessarily make the best decisions. So it was acknowledged that people are losing their businesses, they have no income, they are having trouble paying their rents and their mortgages, and that puts families under huge pressure.
In an interview with CCN this week, Federal MP Lucy Wicks has defended the federal government support packages after calls from the New South Wales Treasurer and Labor for a return to JobKeeper went unheard.
A little bit of misinformation out there at the moment. The fact is that the COVID-19 disaster payments are set at the same rate that JobKeeper was set in the December quarter last year. So those payments are set at the same rate there. But the difference is they're getting out the door faster because they're going directly to the individual, the affected employee, not through the business.
As the lockdown continues on the Central Coast, many local heroes are busy helping the communities most vulnerable. Reporter Sky Hull caught up with the Helping Hands initiative in Gosford, handing out food for the economically vulnerable and homeless.
People are struggling, they're really struggling at the moment, but amongst all of this, we're seeing all these community members who are rallying behind us and assisting us and helping everyone else as well. So I know it's difficult, I know it's hard, but honestly, the community spirit at the moment on the Central Coast is fantastic.
Yep, parts of the community are celebrating after convincing the council's administrator to take many sites set for sale off his list. And the council's budget situation is again under pressure following the lockdown, with many income-generating operations closed. Mr Hart also confirmed to us services are being wound back after a total of 690 full-time equivalent staff positions were shed since July 2020. We'll publish the full interview with the administrator next week online and on our socials. And CCN published the results of their online survey regarding the community's thoughts on a demerger. Surprisingly, over 80% of nearly 300 respondents wanted a demerger. Comments by readers varied widely. Read the thoughts of contributors in this week's Coast Community News or online. And the Olympics are perfect for lockdown. In Tokyo, as of 12:30 today, Australia has reached 9 gold and 22 overall medals, positioning us in 5th place overall in both these categories. With the swimming events coming to an end and the athletics kicking off today, there's a good chance other nations may start to catch us up, whilst the US, China and Russia could begin to pull further away. However, Aussie hopes stay alive. 2 Central Coast athletes have also already broken records this year. Nicola McDermott in the high jump and Charlie Hunter in the 800 metres. As well as these two, the Central Coast Matt Dawson and Faith Nathan are preparing for their prospective quarterfinals in the men's hockey and women's rugby sevens. And tonight, the Matildas will have their chance to make the women's football semi-finals. And locals Ellie Carpenter and Kai and Simon will toe, and a defeat against Britain tonight will make it a winner at 7 p.m.
All of these stories and thousands more can be found on our website or in this week's Coast Community News, Coast Community Chronicle and the Pelican Post. Remember to subscribe to all of our socials for updates throughout the week and keep an